Well, hello, Leo. Come on in, sit for a spell. We're going to dive into your predictions read, but I'm not going to be able to do it the way I've been doing the others. I can't. I can't. I just can't work within a framework. It's just not working for me. And I don't know, there's something about this that's very much coming in connection to your energy too. Just not wanting to be boxed in, not wanting to have to fall in line of a certain framework about the way things are to be done, or even what's a sphere of influence that you have at your charge, not wanting to be fenced in, not wanting to succumb to any kind of outside imposed norms. That's how the energy is coming through for you. It's also how it's coming through for me, man. I have to tell you, it's how it's coming through for me too. And it's just the energy that was present as I started to tune in to the Leo collective, man. And so I'm going to flow with it. I'm not going to go into the specific areas of life. I'm just going to read your energy. I'm going to read your energy, but I will tell you, you are the first. You are the first of the signs to present a significator as I was preparing your deck here. And the card that came out is pretty potent. So this is the nature of the quest you're opening up with here in 2026. We got the Magician. And I do feel you are about to work a little magic soon here. You're about to raise something up. Raise something up is how it's really coming on through. I feel like it's something that's been buried deep within you that you're raising up. And you're taking an action in relation to raising this up. It's maybe something that you've kind of like kept to yourself, or something that has really been stored away for safekeeping. It has that kind of impression to it, like it's some key aspect of yourself that it's intimate to share this, whatever this is. I mean, I could feel this energy being associated with an artist who's really not wanting to sort of cast their pearls before swine. Like there's something about this is special, I don't allow people normally to have access to these places inside of me, but I know that this is something I'm called to share. And that's how it's coming through. And it might be a very different side of you or something, but I just feel like there's something you're switching up here. You're innovating something, you're transforming something, and it may be in the way you communicate. You communicate the way you're moving forward. Certain truths you're speaking, certain insights you're sharing. There's also something you're renewing here. I feel you got all the aces at your disposal right now. So those are seeds of potential, but it's all about what you do with them at this time. And which one do you act on first? The Ace of Swords, the Ace of Wands, the Ace of Cups, perhaps the Pentacle. I think it really depends on where you're at, what stage of development you're at with your creation. For some of you, it's just starting to come in. You're just starting to muse it. You're just starting to get inspired. You know what energy you want to bring forward this year. You feel like you got the inspiration. Next step would be moving it into action, breathing a little life into that fire to blaze a trail for this creative inspiration to come through. And then, of course, it's entering you into a process of really going deep into the emotions, because you can never pull something out of the intangible and give it life without it being somewhat of an emotional process. Usually it's quite a devotional process too. And there's also, the discipline, the fire, the discipline of it. And that's like kind of that merging of energies there. Merging of energies to create the alchemical moment when it can really be rooted on earth. So it's just kind of like seeing where you at. Where are you at with this? It's interesting that I did this. Are you in the water phase, the devotional phase, the creative flow? Perhaps. Maybe that's why you're in a state of real mutability right now, which is interesting for your energy because normally your energy is very fixed, right? It's normally fixed, but it's mutable. Maybe you're finally embracing the flow. Maybe you finally gave over to the flow, salmon. You're salmon on the medicine wheel, those of you who are born under the sun sign, Leo. Others of you may have strong Leo placements. Or you could also be an Aquarius rising. That would make you a Leo descendant. Might just have a lot of action going down in your 5th house. You could also be experiencing a potent Leo transit at this time. So this energy could be speaking to you. But there's something about not having to struggle so hard with your creativity anymore. And something about recognizing you were kind of getting in your own way with it. Because you weren't just going with the flow. It was like you were fighting. You were fighting what was wanting to come up and out of you. But I see this as transforming here. It's all about seeing where you're at. I think you're in this phase where you're ready to really pour into something. You're ready to devote yourself to something. There's something you're transforming here. And it's going to bring renewal energy into your life. There could be a Gemini that's connected to this, or something that involves a message you have to share, something you're communicating. Could even be a little magic you're working on the World Wide Web, okay? Something you're putting out there that's going to have a real reverberatory effect. It could even be something you're putting out musically. Something you're putting out musically. I could see that. Maybe you're sharing that part of yourself online. Maybe you've always kind of kept to yourself, your music to yourself. And now you're like, you know what? I really feel like putting myself out there more because I got something to say through my music. I don't know, whatever this is, it looks good. It looks good to me. But when I saw this, right, and I saw these different aces you got there at your disposal, I thought, oh, and another card just got left behind. This keeps happening with you. Yeah, the action needs to be taken, I think. You got the inspiration. I see that. Hangman energy. But now it's time to take the action. You already have the crown lit up. You already have the perception you need to move this forward. You already have the perception you need to move forward into this year and what you want to grow here. Now it's time to take the action to get it going. Interesting how that got left behind. I want to see what elemental you need at this time. It's happened again. Another card got left behind. Yeah, you need to get the fire going for sure. You need to get things cooking. I see that. If you want to bring this thing home to roost, man, if you're wanting to really make this manifest, you need to, you need to invest in getting this going. With the firewood there, that makes me feel like chop wood, carry water, to get something cooking. There's certain foundational things you need to do here to really work with your inspiration and have it be a source of sustenance. Like, I feel like whatever this is that you're bringing in here, it's fuel for your fire. It really lights you up. It gives you sustenance. I feel like it gives you material sustenance as well. For some of you, this could be something coming in the area of your career, or it fills up the well within you that's been run dry for quite a while. You've really needed a sustaining force to come in, something to light up your consciousness. You were waiting for something to light up your consciousness. It's like you're tired. You're tired of all the monotony. That's what I feel like, the monotony. Having to stay within certain lines of acceptability, There is a little bit of it's just the burgeoning rebel within you. That's what I feel. It's like, it's there. It's there, but it's still kind of like weighing things out, and it's still sort of assessing the scene, and it's sort of questioning how much of a wager can I make? It's got like place your bets kind of energy too, which gives me the impression that there's a reason why you're hanging out and getting a different view of something and really studying it a bit. You want to be wise when you place your bets. With all that fire there, you know, it's like fire can be sustenance. Fire can also burn things down, you know? So I do feel like there's something you're alchemizing here. Maybe you're like pausing before taking action on something you really want to root in your life. This is the vision you have for how you want to move forward in 2026. And it's how you're opening up to the energy. Let's see what comes in. What are you wanting to get cooking here? Yeah, there's been a lot of tears shed. There's been a lot of reflection. There's been a lot of emotional integration related to, it's coming through as like reflections in the shadow, you know, looking at things that maybe were concealed from you at one time. This is really like the inner terrain. The inner terrain. And getting comfortable in the darkness, you know, and understanding that even in this like place of release and emotional integration, there's something that's happening there that's really potent and it's really powerful. And it's a place where there's a sense of peace and there's a sense of rest. I feel like you've been clearing out some emotions. I feel like you've been shedding a lot of your inhibitions around fear, things you're normally very fearful of, or produce some kind of activation in you. You're starting to get more curious when you feel like that, more curious about what's behind that. Because usually when fear crops up, it's because we don't know what's there on the other side, sort of stepping through the initiation of moving through the fear itself. But it always leads to something so valuable and so rich, you know? It's part of the challenge, you know? So there might be something about this. I don't know. I'm kind of just like seeing the contrast between these two cards. Like the Hangman comes through as more shadowy, and then there's radiance with the Magician here. So it almost gives me the impression of really calling the light into the shadow, like really wanting to become acquainted with what's hanging out there, understanding that there's not just things to see there that are things we're fearful of really looking at or coming to a place of acceptance around, but there's also a lot of life teeming there, you know, a lot of potential, a lot of gifts you hold that maybe you've been a little shy about stepping into, a lot of desires you have that you're ready to get met, you know, that you're ready to go out and get your fill and create these things for yourself. But there's also a lot that's had to be released, a lot that's had to be released. And I think that's why you're ready to get things cooking here, to bring things into alignment with the firewood. But there's work to be done around this. Like there's stuff that needs to be done in the physical to get this cooking. And there is an initiation coming up ahead for you. And I feel like this initiation is coming through for you with your full moon that's coming up on the 1st of February. This is a doorway of initiation. You got to go through the fire. This likely is a bit of soul smithing here. It's like you're being shaped into your new form by the fire elemental. You could even be dealing with somebody who holds a lot of fire in their chart. It's also got a bit of being forged in the fire, master maker energy. This could be you really honing your craft. Pulling something off or allowing yourself to step into the truth of really wanting to devote yourself to your craft, take it to the next level, and being willing to go through that doorway of initiation, understanding that as you step through that door, It's like there's no going back. You'll never be able to go back to where you were before. Once you've received the calling to take your craft to the next level, you can't stay where you were in that box before. You can't, because if you do, then it's always going to feel very confining, because you know you're not letting the creative energy to really have its full expression here. And so there's something you're ready to fully represent. And I feel like it's, to me, it has the impression of an artist or somebody who's in the act of creating something that they want to share, that's it's very treasured by them. This is a bit of sharing your treasure with others. And so there's a lot of sensitivity around it, actually. There's a lot of vulnerability around it, but it's a very pure reflection of your truest soul's essence. And it's absolutely something you're meant to do. It's your path of transformation in 2026. And it does require you to fully show up in the world representing this. Like, there's no way to kind of like share this and then take it back. It's forever going to shift the way people view you, and also how you view yourself, what you feel you are capable of. And it's going to change things for you, because you're never going to be able to go back into your comfort zone. And that may also be a reason why you're kind of like pausing here before you take the action, because you understand this. You know this. You know that as you bring this vision of yours forward, it's really going to change the path ahead. There's no going back once you step through this door. But this brings you an incredible gift of transformation. It will transform your life. You might feel like, you're a little bit in the hot seat leading up to it, because it's really that time to bring it on home, but you'll like what you find there when you invest in this work. It looks like it's something in relation to your work. And it really helps you find your path. It helps you find that sense of belonging, like, yes, this is it. This is what I'm supposed to be doing. This feels right. I'm supposed to be connecting with this person. I'm supposed to be exploring this area. I'm supposed to be stretching and growing in this direction. Like, this is it. This is it. And it will root something for you of sustenance here. I see that. I also feel like your home life is going through a transformation right now. There's beautiful things that are happening there. There's an old cycle that's coming to a close. And there's something new that's entering that space. And how you feel in that space too. How you feel in that space. There's new things growing at home. And I do feel like you're really feeling your sense of belonging. And where you have faced challenges around home. And I can see this coming through in a multitude of ways. Just never really feeling like, that fit. Like, yeah, this is where I want to put down roots. This is where I belong. Or just even feeling like, a sense of belonging. Like, yeah, these are my people. Because home is really, it's like a state of being, if you think about it. It's not something that's necessarily confined within four walls. It's also just a feeling of belonging, a feeling of rootedness. And I think this is something that's been a little bit off, but I feel like you're really finding it. You're bringing something into balance here. And it has something to do with closing an old cycle. Some of you could be stepping through a new doorway to a new home, or something that's transforming on the home front in such a potent way that, once you step through this metaphorical door, there's no going back. And something is very renewing, though. Magician is very good energy. And it's definitely something that you're calling in. So I know this is what you want to create. This looks really beautiful. Let me see any other energy that wants to come in around this for you. Ooh, yes. Oh, beautiful. Some of you are having a child for your first time. Some of you are rooting a vision that's like your baby, or sharing this is very tender for you. It's very beautiful. On the other side of the tears, there's this beautiful temperance energy that comes through. And that's what allows you to see the dawn of the new day. You know what gateway of initiation you have to enter through, because it's what brings your dawn, and you're not going to waste the dawn. It is coming in with temperance energy. There could be a Sagittarian connection or a trip of significance. We also have Sky family coming in here as well, with the Raven, Libra energy coming in here. There is something that's spiraling in. It's a bit of magic from the east, okay? The place of initiation, the place that sets things in motion here. There's a bit of claiming a source of fire, a source of awe, creativity that sets new things in motion. It's the seed of a new vision and a new way forward. And you see it very clearly. Your vision is activated right now. And you do have a change in vision too. And that change in vision may have to do with this new beginning. And it's something you really want to nurture here. And I am picking it up that somebody is becoming a parent for the first time. Congratulations. That's a pretty potent initiatory gateway for sure. First time giving birth. I also feel it's the birth of a vision. It's coming in a very inspired way, and it's a very true representation of who you are. And it's a bit vulnerable, 22 on the clock, but it's so much. It's so much that's going to fill you up, man. And it really activates your power. It is your power up to trust this path. Let me go ahead and do a cut of the deck, and I want to bring in some different energies for you. Look at this. Forged in the fire, man. There may be a little bit of pressure here, but if you let yourself really shine and bring this forward and show all these different facets of who you are, it's going to give you such a treasure. It's mirth. It's mirth. It's mirth. You can't go wrong with mirth. Oh, mirth is truly divine. Mirth is the best kind of playfulness, joyfulness. This pours so much into you. And there's so much radiance that comes from you sharing these multifaceted aspects of yourself, but it also really roots something material in your reality that I think is going to make your life so much easier. I feel like you're coming into a state of wealth here, richness, and that applies on a very deep level. It's not just about having enough of what you need to tend to your material cares, but it's also having so much more that makes you feel full and that allows you to share that fullness with others, you know? There's something really beautiful coming through here with the Queen of Earth treasure, but it's a little tricky because in order to activate these gifts, you do need to chop wood, carry water. You need to take an action. And I think there is like maybe a little bit of, the word that came through is trepidation. That's what it feels like. Just a little bit of like, ooh, you know, let me shake it off. Let me shake it off. The vibes it has is it reminds me of when I would perform at the cabaret, you know, you'd like be backstage and they're starting to introduce you, and it's that moment before you come out before the audience, and you kind of just like need to shake everything out, just shake all the tension out of your body because you're antsy. Like you want to get out there, you know, you want to get out there, you want to share it. And you also at the same time, you know, just you want to get out there because the energy is just so pent up. It's been held in for so long, and it's wanting to be expressed. It's wanting to come up and out. That's what this is, you know? That's what this is. But there is something here that's a little bit of tricksy energy around sharing this gift, where yes, it's time to take an action, but that initial action, it's so key. It's so key. And I think this is what you're sort of like sitting with here. You understand this. I also feel like you've looked at the road ahead and the challenges you face and what you want to create, what you want to bring in here on many different levels from many different angles. And I think you're really ready to call this in. It's beautiful energy. This baby of yours, whether it be the birth of your shared love with another and a child that's born through that, or whether it's the birth of a brand new way of living your life, the birth of really taking your craft to the next level and being willing to share it, really putting yourself out there and understanding, you know, that it takes strength to do that. You have to really feel centered in the truth of yourself, because there's going to be people who have opinions, you know. There's going to be people who will critique and give their 2 cents, and largely it's just something that can really distract you from the purity of what's wanting to be shared. And I feel like something's coming in for you that it's too strong of a calling, and it looks like it's very central to your energy here. And it does involve you no longer sort of doing something that's so organized or the way you've always done it, or anything that is too predictable. You need something that is just going to give a little bit more inspiration to the landscape of your life. That's what I feel. Whatever this is, go for it. I think some of you might be heading in more creative career directions too. You're doing something outside the box. Whatever you're doing here, I do see not only a lot of personal fulfillment from it, but I also see a lot of material reward. I do think you're going to be surprised what it creates for you. I think it also gives you new opportunities in your life. And those new opportunities lead to new beginnings in all the areas of your life. New inspirations, new ways of looking at things, new experiences, new visions, new desires, new goals, new things you're going to be determined to go after, new emotions surfacing in you, new intuitions, new longings, new desires, new love, renewed love. Yes. And life is going to really go through a transformation for you. Once you step through a door coming up here, ooh, 29 on the clock, 11:11, it's getting to that point of divine timing for you. It could be somebody we're meeting up with here too. I feel that energy, 22. Often that's when you're supposed to bring your energy together with another. So let's look at that a little bit, since it wanted to introduce itself. Ooh, Wheel of Fortune. Round and round and round she goes. Where she stops, nobody knows. Could be dealing with a Sagittarius. Be dealing with a fixed sign energy. Be dealing with a Leo like you. You could be dealing with a Taurus, a Scorpio, or an Aquarius. You could be a Leo rising. Make you an Aquarius descendant. I think this is what you're pondering right now. It seems a little bit of a Zen cone. It's like one of those internal riddles that once you resolve it, it provides like this immediate moment of realization. I didn't want to say enlightenment. It wasn't the right word. Realization. I think it's like a self-realization that frees you from a position you've been hanging out in for far too long, and it's what gives you the courage to actually take action on this new beginning you want to see in your life. And it could have something to do with something at a distance too. Maybe this is like branching out in a direction you never thought you would have the courage to explore. This could be going to a specific location that you've been feeling really called to head in, but you've been a little reticent to go there for one reason or another. Something's been holding you back from taking that trip. This could be somebody you've been meaning to reach out to, and now you're ready. Yeah. You've been reflecting on this quite a bit. It very well could have something to do with an Aquarius, or you could be a Leo rising. You're really up in your head. I think you've been reflecting on something for a while. You've been wandering through the valley of the shadow. You're hoping for a little change in luck, a reason to be optimistic. I do feel that Stargate is going to be so significant for you, that comes in with a ring of fire in Aquarius on the 17th. It is for everybody really, but there's something there. That's your opportunity, man. That's your opportunity to change your luck, but you got to get out of your head. Your energy is too hung up right now, you know? It's too internalized. There's something that needs to be externalized. The sooner you externalize it, the sooner you get to this. All that wealth. The wealth of experience, something to toast here. I'm noticing the grapes on the vine. Maybe something that comes through around harvest time. Maybe specifically around the time of the crush. That does give you an opportunity to really toast something here. Yes. Yes. There's work, you know. There's work involved. But it's work that you won't regret the labor, because it is a labor of love, something you're growing here. And it does provide you material riches. I mean, I see if you've really wanted to transform your living situation, but maybe that's something that wasn't possible before because there weren't the finances to be able to do that. Or maybe you wanted to buy a new house, or maybe you've wanted to go on that trip, or whatever this is. I think this is facilitating, you know, what you've wanted to have here. And it's very independent strength. There's a lot of growth here. You look really good. It's real nice, like glow up kind of energy. There's a radiance to you. People are noticing it. There's also going to be more of a spotlight on you too. So there's going to really be a need to get out of your head here, because there will be a spotlight on you. I also feel like once you go through that door, if you didn't want attention, you know, hey, once you share whatever this is, or you put this in motion, or you make this choice, or you align with this person, you bring your energies together, you make it official, you put it out there, like there's going to be attention on you. So it's like, you got to get ready for that. You know, it's sort of like having a spotlight on you. But to me, it's good, you know? This is good energy. This is really good energy. I like it. You know? You do have some idea right now, and this idea you have, it's a bit of the Midas touch. You also have a bit of the Midas touch right now in relation to being able to take something that was shattered, something that was fractured, and working a little bit of the art of kintsugi with it and bringing it back together, you know, healing something. I feel like you've been able to really heal yourself too. It feels like you've done a lot of healing in relation to your own reflection and also in relation to how other people see you too. And it's something you're reclaiming here. I feel like, no, I'm reclaiming my own reflection. And that's what really matters to me, how I view myself, you know. It's got a little bit of like man in the mirror kind of energy. You're making a change. You're making a change. There's a lot of luck here. And I feel like this Venus rising energy coming in around it too. So this is like something that is going to be the birth of love and beauty in your life. It looks good, but it does require you to take action. You know, I see you got all those aces on the table. Whereas I noticed I was shuffling it upright. There's the High Priestess, okay? Yeah, there's something you intuit here. But, you know, when you have strong intuition about something and you're really feeling that pull energetically, it has a kinetic flow. It wants you to merge with it. And see, it can dry up if you stay in your head too long. So I do feel like a time to take action is coming in here pretty soon in relation to this for you. Let me get some more details here for Leo around this. Yeah, look at this. High Priestess, Ten of Pentacles. Wow. Yes, this is you building something with another. It could even be building a home with another. Really deciding that you're ready to fully invest in building a future with someone. I also feel this is building kind of like a legacy energy, real rooted energy here. You might even be doing some kind of metaphysical work with the High Priestess to come in with the star like that, with the Ten of Pentacles. If you get out of your head, there's something here. It may even be something you want to do, like I was saying, that would put a spotlight on you. Making music, making a film, getting on stage, putting yourself out there on a platform, sharing your vision, sharing your message. I really see that the only limitation is within your own mind and whatever's holding you back from really, it's got the feeling of like you need to let go. Just like I sat down with you, with your energy, and was like, I'm not going to do what I've done for the other signs. And you can be mad at me about it if you want, but I don't care because I have to bring it in how it wants to come in. That's how the energy wants to express itself. And so I think there's something about this, you know, that's really key for you too. It's not about anybody else's ideas or the way they think that you should do something or what they feel is right for you or any of that. There's something here where you really have to give yourself over to it and just get out of your head and go for it. Maybe you're like, I never saw myself doing this, or maybe you're doing some contrasting, comparing, like noticing how other people do things. It's just abandon all of that, man. Abandon all of that. I really feel like it will garner quite a bit of attention, and it does create a lot of growth. And if this is in relation, you know, to somebody that you're really choosing to like build a future with, okay? if you've been keeping this more concealed or undercover, this is a moment where I feel like that's going to transform, and somebody is really representing, you know, who they're building their future with here. And I can see that applying romantically, you know, starting a family with someone, really investing in building a home with somebody. But I can also see it coming through as somebody you're really looking to partner with. So this could be like some big deal coming through. You got to sign a contract. It's really going to level you up. It's going to put a spotlight on you, okay? It's going to put you out there. So you have to be ready to step into that. Maybe this is something that's developing behind the scenes. This opportunity is going to come your way. It's everything you've been waiting for. It's that wish you made upon a star, but you're keeping it under wraps. Well, this is all getting ironed out, all the details. And then it was 40:40 on the clock. So this is what it's about. For some of you, it's some kind of merger, it's some kind of major deal you're signing on for here or something. And it's a big deal, okay? It's a big deal when you come forward with this. So it's sort of like, you're not ready yet, you know? You're not ready yet. Whatever this is, I think it's something of this nature. There's probably an announcement in relation to this. Whatever this is. And it's a huge level up materially. And all I know is it does put a spotlight on you. And there's a need, you know, to head into this very sensitively. It's not time for like some big reveal yet, but it will. There might be like anxiousness around that though when this comes. You know, I feel this energy around this too, okay? And that's coming in with water sign energy, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. Got Aquarius here, Leo rising, coming in real strong in association to this as well. I mean, whatever this is, yeah, look, there's the big reveal. Ta-da! Here's your breakthrough moment. I feel like it really comes in Leo season. I mean, there's something that is really evident at that time. Your field of dreams is growing. It's growing very wild and free. And I think you're moving forward in a way where you really feel like excited, you know, everything feels brand new. You don't have all this like heavy energy hanging over you anymore. You don't need to keep it a secret anymore. You're really excited to share it with everybody. I mean, for some of you, it's the fact that, you know, you're going to have a baby, you know, and others of you, it's your baby, you know, it's your dream, or it's your dream offer, you know. It's something you've been working on. You're not ready to reveal it yet. It's something that's growing. It's something that's growing, but it's not ready to, you know, break out on the scene just yet. It's summertime. Summertime, especially Leo season. I think that's like when a big reveal comes through here. It's quite a special moment. Looks like a lot of happiness. I see a lot of happiness in your family. There might be some healing that's happening in your family too. Or people you share space with. You know, there's something healing here, something healing in your soul family too, you know. Friends that are like family. You're getting to the other side of something. But I do see you're up in your head right now. Up in your head. You might be feeling like you don't have the resources you need to pull something off. It doesn't have to be material related resources. It could be like, I don't have the resource of enough information to be able to set something in motion. Or I'm low, you know, I'm low on emotional fuel. I don't have enough spoons right now. You know, it's also a little bit of kind of wishing somebody might take the lead instead of you too. I mean, all I know is this sun is going to come on through. There is an opportunity coming your way. There will be movement forward around this. I do see communication coming in. Messages are going to start to open up. I really feel like within the week, messages are going to start to open up in relation to this opportunity. Could be coming in from an earth sign, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, or somebody who wants to do some kind of business with you. It could also be around a serious commitment, okay, business or romantic, but I see there's something that's set in motion here. There's communication, there's something that's being offered, there's something that's being considered. I feel like within the week, okay, this communication is going to start to kick off. There might be trips involved, okay? There might be a lot of online activity in relation to this. A lot of back and forth communication I'm picking up as well. Also setting certain plans in motion in relation to this. It's all with an eye on the prize though. And there is something that's being set in motion here that I feel within 2 months' time, you're really going to have the first signs of success. The first signs of success that yes, this is it. We're on the right track here. Let me see any other details that want to come in around this. Any other details? There's something that has to come to a close first though, I see, and it's something that's been concealed. It might be something that needs to be revealed, that's been concealed, that's actually been the thing that's been holding everything up. Because I look at this swords energy here and it's coming out 18. That's the moon. And we got the high priestess right here, the moon. Okay, so yeah, this could be something that's been concealed around I'm getting a couple different messages with this. It's keeping something that's concealed that was created out of your deepest pain. And so there's like a lot of sensitivity around it, but it's in the revealing that it moves you into the upliftment, like what rises up out of that pain. There's also the energy coming in that there may be something that needs to be really sort of closed out, finalized. And this could have something to do with a secret connection. It may even have a little something to do with a confession. And I don't know if that is you making a confession or another making a confession. It could be a confession of feelings too, like somebody hasn't shared what they feel. They're afraid if they share what they feel that they'll experience something very painful. Maybe even just the dream, you know? Because once you have a dream and you actually take the risk to set it in motion, and let's say it is around sharing your feelings with somebody, you might be afraid, if I share my feelings, what if they don't return my feelings? And so it's easier to stay in the place of what if than what could be. That might be the fear. That might be the fear that needs to be overcome. It's something that's concealed. It's something that's concealed. I could also see really wanting to revive something too that came to an end. That could be a romantic relationship or some kind of connection that's really important to you. And there's a lot of sensitivity around it and not knowing how to communicate about that, being up in your head around that. These are hidden feelings though. Yeah, hidden feelings. There's a need to speak here, communicate, act on truth. And it's coming out very strongly with Aquarian energy here. So if you're a Leo rising, this certainly could be you. Okay. Could be an air sign energy connected, coming out real strong Aquarius here, but could also be Gemini, could be Libra. Yeah, there's need to take some kind of action to communicate here. Something decisive. Let me get some more details about this. What is this communication about? There's also a truth you've arrived at here, so it's time to really act on that truth. There's something you see clearly that you were not able to see before. And there may be something that needs to be revealed that you've been hesitating to reveal. It could be feelings. It could also be something that has been hidden. Something that's been hidden. Yeah, this is exposure of whatever this is. Something that's been hidden being revealed. Let me see what this is. What needs to be communicated here? I know that there's like a lot of pain around this. And it involves some kind of ending, something that came to an end. And not knowing how to communicate about that or share from this place around this. Feeling like your hands are tied. It's coming up with crossing energy. Justice. Could involve a Libra. Could involve something that does need to be settled. Something that needs to be balanced out. Crossing energy. Look, it's your energy, the sun. It's like you're really wanting to balance something out here. I mean, it looks like something will be balanced out. What will be balanced out here for Leo in 2026? Emperor. Look at that. That's wild. Aries energy. So Aries, Libra, that particular axis of the zodiac. Yeah, interesting energy. There's very much this like polarized sort of pondering. That's how it's coming through. Polarized pondering. Do I choose to go my own way, to do my own thing, to walk my path alone, to just, you know, be in that space and really just enjoy my own energy, doing my own thing? Or do I really want to merge my energy with another? I mean, you know, I just realized, you know, the High Priestess came out and you had the Magician, right? Opened you up. So to me, this looks like a pairing. I mean, Magician, High Priestess, Emperor. I don't see the Empress yet, but, you know, that energy of justice, it does speak of mergers, you know, bringing energy together. There's a lot of suspicion of trickery. That's what I feel. Not wanting to be made a fool. And this may keep one wanting to stay more in their independent power. Aries energy coming through, really strong Aries, Libra energy. You may have strong placements in Aries or Libra here. It looks like the Emperor is doing something to maybe represent what's been hidden, what's been operating behind the scenes. This to me has really the feeling of somebody working on something, you know? Working on something behind the scenes and getting ready to like really present it, reveal it, and it's the thing that levels them up. But I do feel like whatever this is, there's something that's being exposed here that is related to something that went through a really rough ending. And maybe something that led a person down a particular path to arrive at a certain choice that they haven't shared with the other, that they really need to, because that's what makes all the difference. Look at that. This has everything to do with growth. Look at this. We got the Page of Wands in reverse. See, so this hasn't happened yet though. And I have to say, with this energy coming in with the Nine of Pentacles and the Child that came through and the High Priestess and the Page of Wands in reverse, this could be like the birth of a child, okay? This could be like a love child that's been concealed, or a new beginning that somebody took that was in their own self-interest that's been concealed from a person of interest. And whoever this person is, they hold a position of power. And so there's nervousness about, you know, revealing this, because, you know, what's going to come at me once this is revealed. I think that's why there's been the hesitation around this 55:11 on the clock. Somebody knows, like, once something's exposed, it's going to completely transform everything. There's no way to take that back. Once something is fully invested in, represented, you know, and this is decided, like, okay, this is where I'm putting my focus. This is what I'm going to be growing here in 2026. This is where I'm putting all my eggs in the basket. I'm done kind of weighing out options. I know what my path of purpose is here. And there is something that's revealing about it. For some of you, there's like some family secret coming out. And it's a lot. It's a lot to sort of represent, reveal, okay? And it may be something you've kept inside for a long time. Okay? You could be learning about, you know, somebody that you thought you knew, you know, a side of them that you've never seen before. And it's kind of shocking here, right? I see that. It's got like father connection. One moment here. Ted wants in. Come on, Ted. Okay, come on in. Lay down. Lay down, baby. Okay. Lay down, honey. It's okay. Lay down. Yeah, interesting. It does have the impression of maybe having to integrate something. It has the vibe of like integrate something with another that revolves around sharing something that's been concealed, that might be a bit sensitive, and it could be in relation to a child or something from childhood, right? I don't know why, but when, you know, I told Ted to like lay down, there might be, I don't know why I got this, but I got the impression of like, there's somebody out there that when they have real sensitive talks, they like to lay down with the person and kind of like cuddle up and talk. There might be something that gets shared in a space like that that transforms a pattern in a relationship where there's a lot of defensiveness. There's like some different approach is needed here. Something more less abrasive, less demanding, less pushing, more gentle. It requires a gentle touch, maybe even a tender touch, like something about really holding space for this communication. Of course, if it's welcomed, right? But I feel like it would. I feel like it would be welcomed. Like really holding space physically as you're communicating about something, because there's something about it that might really make also a young part of somebody feel very activated. There's something that needs more conscientiousness around this in regard to a communication, revealing something that's been hidden. But I do feel that this is healing. Whatever comes through here, it's healing. And it has the power to transform. It looks like a connection with somebody who holds a position of power in your life. This could be an Aries. This could be a father. This could be somebody that you have a lot of respect for. You could be this person. You feel like you need to really represent this. You don't want to keep this part of you hidden anymore. You may be recognizing that that is something that's interfering in your ability to really connect with others, go deep with others, and also just to feel really connected to your life in a meaningful way. You know, there's something you don't want to keep under wraps anymore. You're tired of going over it again and again and again and again in your head too. Like, you don't want to do that either. You know, you just really feel like there's more freedom. And it's just like, even that sense, like it's like as soon as you take action, it feels like you're going through some fire test of truth, man. It revolves around revealing something, or somebody revealing something to you that's really powerful, and it's an opportunity for growth in the connection. But the way you receive it, or the way you express it, you know, depending on what side you're on, it has everything to do with the demonstration of your growth. Your growth. So that lets me know there might be something here that normally you could feel really reactive around. And yet you've had enough time, understanding, healing, integration to approach things differently. And maybe in the past you were really reactive. That's possible. Maybe in the past you've had a really reactive communication pattern, or the person you were dealing with had a very reactive communication pattern. And so it just caused like a lot of defensiveness to brew between the two of you. And it caused some kind of shutdown here. It looks like there's healing and a key connection. So, I mean, this is really beautiful energy coming in, but there's some challenging bits to it, but I like the end result. Let me do a cut of the deck here for you. Then I'll see what else I want to pull through for you. You are walking away from something that you did invest a lot of energy in. And it may be walking away from the need to kind of like continue to like brew and stew over things that have happened. You know, you might have really been revisiting your past, looking through the archives of your past, integrating a lot of past experiences. It feels like you're done with that, you know? I don't need to do that anymore. You know, you're ready to actually put down new roots. You're ready to invest in something here. And I do feel you're investing in something here, but it does require that you kind of like turn your back on an old life. For some of you, it's even an old city, you know? An old way of doing things. It's got like locale vibes to me though, for some reason. Turning your back on where you've been to, you know, head into new territory here. And there's an investment required in this, but I do see you going somewhere. It could even be just a trip, you know, to open up the exploration of whatever this is. It could be, you know, a trip just to open up communication around exploration of whatever this is, you know. That trip can be metaphorical, especially in healing a connection that's important to you. But I see it very clearly where you face your fear and you bring it forward. There's a lot of transformation there. It's good. So let's get some arcane BS in here and see what comes through for you. On the split, you know, there's a little bit of this robo-dodo energy, really trying to decipher what's going on. You might be keeping your eye on something because you have no effing clue about what's coming up next. You do know that you're going to have to take some kind of action. There may be somebody who thinks they know your truth very well and they don't know your truth at all. But there's also this sort of sense here of truth creeping up upon you when you least expect it, and It might be something that surprises you, okay? It might be a truth that rises up out of the past too. Somebody taps you on the shoulder. They come up from behind you. You're in the grocery store. You're like, what? Oh my God, all of a sudden I'm face to face with you. Well, it's about to get real. You've been keeping an eye on a situation at a distance. Now it's up close and in your sights. Oh, it's chaos. Mom on the scene. Yeah, you know, I felt it was time you two talked, so I just threw you into each other's force field, and now what are you going to do? You have no choice but to muddle it out. There's some kind of new beginning that's presented here. You're looking at it. Do I dare take the offer? Do I dare invest in this? I don't know. I've been hanging out here for quite a while. If I don't have another view yet, I don't know. Maybe it's worth it. Maybe it's worth it to press restart. This feels like renewing something, renewing a soul contract, renewing this. This person, whoever they are, you know, they stir things up. They do, you know. They come with a lot of other stuff attached, I have to say. They could even be connected to somebody through a child, you know. And that person stirs up a lot, you know. They bring a lot of drama. They bring a lot of drama. I also feel like this is the birth of something. It has a lot of creative potential, yes. But this is going to stir things up, you know. Whatever this is, this new beginning, it's going to stir things up. It is. And yet, I don't know. You're pondering it. You're pondering it. It does require you act out of your self-knowledge. You can't abandon what you've learned along the way. I think that's why you're studying it. But the sense that, you know, that noose is hanging in the background and you're sitting there already holding the egg in your hand, I think you're going to activate that cosmic egg of creation. I do feel like you're going to go for it. I do feel like you're going to throw caution to the wind. I don't feel like you're going to be hung up anymore. You're getting things moving here. You're not hanging out at the gallows. You're not hanging out at the gallows. No. You're going to renew something here. I see it very clearly. Already the crypt is sliding open and the creative energy is teeming. It's been burgeoning in you since the new moon in Capricorn came in. All right, so I do think there is something that's brewing here that is very evident in your read that came through. You're meeting up with somebody here. It's just the beginning, but it does require putting a lot of fear behind you. There's been a lot of work that went behind this. The two of you internally, both of you have felt equally divided about this connection. Most of it that's been holding this back has been in the head. It has everything to do with just kind of like going over and over and over old ground of old experiences and the way things have always been, and really feeling like any choice leads to some kind of dead end. So not seeing any sort of possibility. And it's almost like when you give up trying to figure it out and you just say, forget it. I'm just going to, you know, I'm just going to kind of like get above all of this sort of minutia. I'm going to clear my head. And then maybe the view will come on through. You can see ways that, you know, you held a certain line, a certain position. You might have felt very justified in it. You might have felt very self-righteous about it. You might have been really hot under the collar. You might have been very angry. You might have been very activated. And then you may have even felt like, well, you know, I'll show you, you know, that kind of energy. But there's something coming in here where you're recognizing like, well, that really works against me. Or you could be dealing with somebody on the other end of that scale that's like having this point of reflection. There's peace coming in here through just getting out of the head for a while, lifting up the consciousness, like not looking at something anymore. I think people don't recognize that often. When you look at something too long and you're like sorting through it and you don't just get on with it, if you look at something, ponder something too long, it just becomes like this big ball of confusion. And then it puts you in this place of mental gridlock, and then no inspiration can come through and nothing is clear and everything is in this very congested state. But there is some kind of realization coming through here, and that's that, wow, when I really just like let go of the need to understand something or the need to figure it out, all of a sudden, all the paths open up to me. And now I have different options about where I can go, what I can do, who I can talk to. It's like giving up this ball of confusion and something you've been pondering for so long is freeing your mind in such a way that it's giving you brand new coordinates here. And then you recognize when you get where you were always meant to go that you were there all along. There's something like this, okay? There's a journey here though. And I feel like there's different paths of exploration that are coming through for you this year. And you are meant to pursue all of these paths. But there's a key with all of these paths of exploration. They're like side quests of sorts, but they're all part of one core purpose. And it's something you're really going to bring forward here this year that's going to put a spotlight on you. And there's something that you're coming up and out with. It's no longer going to be concealed. You're going to have that revealing moment. And then it's going to be the thing that's the making of you. It's what you were always meant to do. It's who you were always meant to be. And there's something really cool that comes as a result of this. But the key is that you have to let go of control. All of these different paths are going to push you to let go of control and give yourself over to it. So this is very interesting. Wolves coming in here. So there could be a Pisces that's really key with this. You could have a strong Pisces placement. There's also something here that requires you to work with your blind spots. Like you got a blind spot, you don't know, cool. Head into that territory. There's only one way you're going to see, and that's by moving right into your blind spot, moving into where you're kind of feeling your way through the dark. That's how you're going to get to the clearing. You know, you have to enter through there, but I do feel, like I said, there's something that comes in with that full moon in Leo on the 1st of February that sets the tone for the whole year for you. It really does, because I feel that's when you know your soul's path. And yes, there's other paths of exploration here. And these may seem disparate right now, but you'll see the way they all come together in this like alchemical state of kintsugi by the time you really align with this calling and you see the fruition of it, which is coming through very strongly as in the fall for you. Go ahead and do a cut of the deck just to cap this off. This feels complete to me. Yeah, roads opening up for you. There's something about really clearing out your consciousness of the old files, the old way of looking at things, the BS. You're giving a finger to what doesn't work for you. You're letting all the shit go, and you're reclaiming time that was lost by finally taking action in a way that feels like this is what I want to do, okay? So this is road opener energy. Some of you may have even been working with a road opener. All you know is you're ready to peer into the mystery. You're ready to head into the unknown. You know it may require a little sacrifice, and you know you may take some arrows along the way as you head into this territory, because it is a little dangerous. You are a wanderer in a strange land, but it is the thing that puts the power back in your hands. And to get this view, it's worth the price. So get the ticket, go for the ride. Get the ticket, go for the ride. I think what I want to do is just bring in some numbers and bring in some signposts and synchronicities for you. And get some more details here just to cap this off for you. What's coming in for Leo in 2026? Well, you're moving ahead. It's starting right now. Like, this is the initiation point. We got your energy moving forward very swiftly. In this month of January, there could be a Capricorn of significance. I also feel like you're moving forward in terms of the 10th house. The way you're going to be seen by others is going to radically change. If you're in business for yourself, this is really, I'm hearing authentic branding. It's like the kind of branding that just happens when you just show up as you are and you don't feel the need to sort of have any artifice there or water down your vision or accommodate it toward what's trending or what other people tell you you should do. There's something about you just really letting this part of you be seen that is the thing that is the Midas touch. It is the magic. You're the magic, okay? It's also about you really being in your strong, independent energy. And yet I do feel like there's another you merge forces with here. And it could be to heal something. I also feel like your energies team together are very creative, and there's a lot of synergy in your communication. It's coming in with Gemini energy there. Wheel of Fortune energy too. We got 6 energy here too. I think this is up on the path ahead. I don't feel like this has really been initiated into yet, but there might be a hint of it that comes in February. February is when something really starts brewing behind the scenes, okay? It's not time to raise the curtain on it yet. There's communication that started there, though, and I feel like that communication starts in February, and it really endures all the way through May and June. And then I think, yeah, August, something's ready to really be revealed there. We got Life Path 6 coming in pretty strongly. In relation to that, Venusian energy, Libra energy, Taurian energy, Sagittarian energy, Aries energy is out here. Gemini is pretty strong too. Also just showing like a lot of communication coming on through. Wheel of Fortune energy. Magician and High Priestess. You know, your energies come together and it produces alchemy. Something really transforms. Something really transforms in quite an unexpected way. We've got Life Path 8 here too. Life Path 9. Also, a lot of new communication coming in relation to your work, right? And offers coming in too. Offers, invitations in connection to your work that could be beneficial for propelling you forward. So be on the lookout for that. It's good. This is the year you move forward in a big, bold way. Let's get you some Arisian spirit board messages, Leo. Just some signposts and synchronicities to be on the lookout for. This could be people of importance coming onto your path, places of importance. I never know how these messages are going to come through, but we shall see what wants to come through for you. I got doctor here. Okay, so somebody may need to go and visit the doctor. You've been up in your head about what's going on with your body. You know something doesn't feel right. And you've been ignoring it. It's coming through as it. You've been ignoring it. You don't know what it is you're dealing with. There's something you've been dealing with that you should have looked at by the doctor, okay? It could actually remedy something that's been, you know, troubling you for a while now. Don't leave it, you know, to caution. Flung into the wind. You know, I don't think you should. I do think you should go and, you know, see a doctor in relation to this, okay? You might be dealing with like some low grade virus, you know? I got something like sinuses, like sinus infection. If your energy's been really low, if you've been sneezing a lot, you've been having any kind of like respiratory stuff, feeling like just a little under the weather, you might have like a sinus infection or be dealing with some kind of virus. It feels like sinuses are like really affected. You need to see a doctor about that. There's something that can really just, you know, clear that out for you and make you feel a whole lot better. But you need to go do it. I got somebody who's like, at the moment, it's just like sitting on their butt, like, you know, not taking action on that. Maybe you really don't like going to the doctor. It's like, I do not want to go to the doctor. Somebody like only goes to the doctor if it's like an emergency, you know. And I think whatever this is, it's really been making you feel miserable. So yeah, go get it checked out. I feel like whatever they give you will clear it out right quick. It's something that's just been left unattended for too long. Some of you may be coming out of the closet, okay? And that doesn't just have to do with, you know, if you're part of the LBQT, you know, community, you could be, you know, you could be coming out around that. You could be coming out around some other, you know, aspect of yourself that you've really kept cloaked, maybe because you're afraid of the judgment of other people. It's a hidden part of you. This could even be in relation to your spirituality, you know. Something you're maybe afraid will get used like some kind of backlash or put you in the hot seat. For some of you, you know, it is in relation to who you choose to love, you know. For some of you, it's somebody close to you that wants to share this with you. They're not sure how you'll react. They're not sure how you'll react, okay? So that might be, you know, holding sensitive space around something. If somebody needs to open up a conversation around something like that, especially if you've ever had judgments or you vocalize certain things, you know, somebody may be really scared about approaching you to bring this forward. So there could be a need for sensitivity. And with that, I got the word hell. Okay, so this might be in relation to, you know, coming out with, you know, an alternative lifestyle or how you identify or who you love or even your spiritual beliefs or something to somebody who might have very traditional beliefs. You know, there's somebody who will tell you, well, you're gonna burn in hell for that. You know, there might be a lot of fear around that, opening up to something in relation to that, or somebody fears that from you. You know, if you're a very religious person, they may feel the weight of your judgment and be very fearful about revealing something to you. And it's coming out as I'm, okay? So it's like, this is something that comes with a label like, I am this. This is who I am, you know, and somebody feels very nervous about revealing this. And I got Bay Area coming in around that, okay? So do be sensitive if somebody needs to talk to you about something that maybe you do have judgments about, or I can understand why you might be hesitating taking some action if you're uncertain how people may react to that, you know. And take your time. Maybe also bring in some kind of support person. Some of you are bringing this forward in a big way, you know, and maybe that is something that's really bringing forward something hidden. You're sharing something maybe that can help other people. You're putting yourself out there. You got a message to share with people. You want to create a space where others feel like they can come forward and be who they are, you know. And yeah, it's a big leap. It's a big leap. But I feel like if that really speaks to you, or if you got somebody that you love, you care about, you know, that this is important to, you know, even if you have resistance, this is coming through, hear them out, okay? Because this is the way that they're being called to share their light in the world. I got bull coming in here. It's making me think of Taurus energy. It's also making me think of being stubborn, bullheaded, you know, needing to just relax a little bit. You may not understand somebody's choices, somebody's decisions, why they are the way they are, but it's time to embrace a new kind of perspective here. A new kind of perspective. And there's something to learn here too. I got the name Faye coming in around that. F-A-Y-E, Faye. This could also be related to, you know, somebody's faith. Maybe they're part of the fairy faith. Maybe somebody has an alternate spirituality. You know, people who look at something from the outside can see it as childish, you know. They have like some Disney version of what fairy is, and yet they don't understand that it's actually a very deep, rich, powerful spiritual tradition. You know, you can't jump to conclusions about who people are because of, you know, what you've been told. There's something here about give people a chance. Give people a chance to show you who they are. That's, and Seba comes in with this, the name Seba. I also got Mayat here. Okay, so this could really be around someone's spirituality. Someone has a very alternate spirituality, and maybe their parent is very religious, or they have a relative or a loved one who has more of a traditional spirituality, and so there's a little bit of clashing around that. There's a little bit of fear around coming out of the closet and saying, this is who I am, this is what I believe, this is a part of me I don't want to hide anymore, and I feel like I love you and I want to have a close connection with you, and because this is who I am, the only way I can do that is if I reveal this to you, because otherwise I'm always hiding a part of myself, and I can't have that real connection with you, that real intimacy with you. And I got the name Angel coming in with that, and it did come through as somebody's name, Angel, Angelo, okay, Ange. Somebody's named Angie, you know, Angela, but doesn't even go by Angie, goes by Ange. Okay. And that's interesting. I got CeeLo there. Makes me think of that song, Crazy. Probably. You may think I'm like ET, like I'm some kind of alien from outer space. I don't even belong here, but this is who I am. And I don't want to be in a cell. I don't want to be in a prison of your mind about who I am. I just want to be free to be me. I just want to be free to be me. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I got Michigan. I got British Columbia. I got LA, Arkansas, Hawaii, Georgia, Rhode Island, for some this is around a birth. It has something to do with a child. This child wants to be acknowledged, you know? Yeah. Us. We're a team here, you know? You gotta represent your child. That might be why, you know, there needs to be like a communication around something that's been hidden, because that's something that could have been concealed. Got that coming in relation to that. It's a little bit of an initiatory process to reveal this. It changes a lot of things, but it also brings renewal, brings rebirth. Yeah. And I think that'll go better than you expect. There's a little luck around that too. This could be somebody scared to let somebody know that they're pregnant too, okay? They might be afraid of what kind of reaction they're going to get. Anything else? Any names? Any other names that want to come through? Names of significance. I got the name Mike. I got the name Miguel. Manny, Manuel, Emmanuel as well. Rita. Mimi. Reba. It made me think of Reba McEntire. So McEntire could be somebody's last name. Somebody's name could be Reba. Somebody could be a big country music fan. Somebody connected to your uncle. Where something's been fuzzy or it's been unclear, it's about to come through loud and clear in HQ, like high definition. There's going to be no mistaking this. So I feel like there's something really key here that's being revealed, that needs to be revealed, because it has everything to do with how you're moving forward and what you're choosing here. And it does put a spotlight on you, but I feel like there's a lot of success, there's a lot of growth, and there's some beautiful partnership that's coming in for you. But all of this really does involve you just sort of giving the finger to anybody else's ideas of who you're here to be, what you need to do, who's right for you. I just really feel you're stepping into your power here in a beautiful way. But you're taking a little time to really consider the moves you're making here in relation to this revealing, because timing is everything. But once it's time, it goes off without a hitch. Godspeed, Leo.